Maybe when your little Etsy shop grows up, we can talk business. That's what my brother-in-law said to me. At a family dinner, in front of everyone. He laughed. My mother-in-law laughed. My own spouse stayed quiet. They thought I ran some cute hobby. A side hustle. Something to keep me busy while the adults did real work. Here's the thing. What would you do if the people mocking your business were actually cashing paychecks from your money? What if the company they bragged about working for was one you owned a piece of? I had the receipts to prove every word, and I was about to use them. But first, let me take you back to where this started. Oh, and real quick, where are you watching from and what time is it there? Drop a comment and hit that like button if you've ever been underestimated. Let's get into it. I didn't come from money. I built everything myself. Late nights learning to code. Weekends at angel investor workshops. I worked a corporate job during the day and invested on the side. Small at first. 1,000 here. 5,000 there. I tracked everything in a spreadsheet. Every single investment, every dividend, every share. By the time I met Chris, my portfolio had quietly grown past 6 figures. But Chris's family? They only respected one kind of success. Titles, corner offices, brand name companies. Mark, my brother-in-law, was a director at some tech firm. Diane, my mother-in-law, had been a lawyer for 30 years. To them, I was just someone with a laptop and a dream. They called my work cute, a hobby. It's sweet you keep busy, honey. That was Diane's favorite line. Chris never corrected them. Conflict avoidant to the core. So I stopped talking about my work at family dinners. I smiled, I nodded, and I kept building, quietly. My first $10,000 month in dividends came and went. They had no idea. I didn't need their approval, but the dismissal still stung. And then one Sunday night, Mark needed something from me. That's when everything changed. It was a Sunday dinner. Diane had made her famous roast. We were halfway through dessert when Mark cleared his throat. So we've got an opportunity. I looked up. Exclusive investment. Real estate syndicate. Minimum buy-in is $50,000. I blinked. We're in, he continued. But we're a little short this month. Thought maybe you could help out. I paused. $50,000. That's not a casual ask. I'd need to see the details, I said carefully. Mark laughed. Not a warm laugh. Details, right. He looked at Diane. She smiled that tight smile. Honey, we work at real companies. Mark's a director at Vanguard Solutions. I was a partner at my firm. We know what we're doing. Mark leaned back. You sell what, app templates? Maybe some website themes? It's sweet you keep busy, Diane added. But this is grown-up money. Chris looked down at his plate. Said nothing. I felt my face get hot. I'll think about it, I said quietly. Mark's smile disappeared. Forget it. We'll ask someone serious. He stood up. Diane followed. Thanks for dinner, Chris. We'll see ourselves out. The door slammed. Chris finally looked at me. Why didn't you just say yes? I didn't answer. I couldn't. The next morning, Chris brought it up again. Maybe just give them the loan. It's family. I stared at my coffee. They didn't ask for a loan. They asked for a handout. It's the same thing. It's not. Chris sighed. Can you please just let this go? For me, I felt something crack inside. Even my own spouse didn't get it. 2 days later, I saw Mark's Instagram story. A photo outside Vanguard's headquarters. Glass tower. Polished logo. The caption, Building the Future. Grateful for real impact work. Real impact work. The dig was obvious. Then Diane posted a throwback photo of her corner office. Hashtag executives only. Chris saw me looking. They're just proud of their jobs. I closed my phone. That night, I sat alone at my desk, staring at my bank account. Maybe they were right. Maybe I was small time. Maybe my quiet spreadsheets and late-night research didn't matter. I opened my investment dashboard. Just to check. Just to remind myself I wasn't crazy. And that's when I saw it. What I saw changed everything. My portfolio dashboard loaded. 12 companies. $2.3 million. I'd seen it before, but this time one line jumped out. Vanguard Solutions. Mark's company. I clicked. Series B, 41,000 shares. Current valuation, $340,000. I owned 2.1% of the company. I scrolled back through my records. 18 months ago, an angel group I'd joined had pooled capital for an early-stage tech investment. I'd written a check and signed the paperwork. I barely remembered the name at the time. But there it was. Vanguard Solutions. Series B preferred equity. I wasn't just an investor. I was a shareholder. A voting shareholder. Mark didn't work for some untouchable corporation. He worked for a company I owned a piece of. I sat back. Let that sink in. They'd mocked my little side hustle, while cashing paychecks from a company I'd helped fund. I started laughing. Quietly at first, then louder. Chris knocked on the door. You okay? Yeah, I said. I'm perfect. I kept scrolling, and then I found the email. But before I opened that email, things got worse. 3 days later, I got a group text. Well, I didn't get it. Chris did. From Diane. Starting a family investment club. First meeting Thursday. Executives and directors only. Looking forward to building wealth together. I wasn't included. Chris showed me the screen. I'm sure it's just an oversight. It wasn't. That night, Mark sent Chris a text. Chris's phone was on the counter. I saw the notification. Your partner's cute website isn't going to pay for your future. You need to think long-term, man. My hands shook. Chris came into the kitchen. Saw my face. What? I handed him the phone. He read it, went pale. I'll talk to him. Don't. But I said don't. The next morning, Diane called. I let it go to voicemail. She left a message. Sweet voice. Syrupy. Hi, honey. Just wanted to reach out about Thursday. We thought you'd be more comfortable sitting this one out. It's pretty technical, but we'd love to have Chris. Talk soon. I played it twice. Chris heard it the second time. She's trying to be nice. She's trying to exclude me. Can you please just let this go? I looked at him. Really looked? No, I said. I can't. I went back to my email. Searched Vanguard. And there it was. Subject line. Q3 Investor Briefing and Leadership Lunch. RSVP requested. I opened it. Dear valued shareholder, as a Series B stakeholder in Vanguard Solutions, you are invited to our quarterly investor update and strategy session. I kept reading. Your insights are valued as we prepare for our Series C discussions. There was an agenda attached. I clicked. Operations update, financial overview, Q3 division performance reviews, presented by senior leadership. One name stood out. Mark's division. He was presenting. To the investors, to me. The lunch was in 2 weeks. Right after Diane's professionals-only investment club meeting. I had voting rights. I was in the room where it happened. And Mark had no idea. I read the email 3 more times. Then I hit reply. Looking forward to attending. Please confirm my RSVP. I sent it. Closed my laptop. Didn't tell Chris. Didn't tell anyone. For the next 2 weeks, I kept my head down. Smiled at family dinners. Let them talk about their real jobs. And I waited. Thursday came. I RSVP'd yes, and I didn't tell a soul. I had one more thing to check. I pulled up Mark's LinkedIn. Humble brags everywhere. Promoted to director. Leading innovation. Driving impact. I switched to Instagram. New Audi in the driveway. Designer watch. Ski trip to Aspen. Bottle service at some club. The lifestyle didn't match the salary. Not even close. I ran a public record search. His house had been refinanced, twice, in 3 years. $485,000. 18 months ago. I kept digging. Credit inquiry, auto loan, $73,000. He wasn't investing. He was borrowing. The $50,000 wasn't for some real estate syndicate. It was to cover the gap. To keep up appearances. And Diane? I thought back to her comments over the years. Chris married down, but we love you anyway. It's sweet you keep busy. She needed me small, to keep the family hierarchy intact. If I succeeded, it threatened her control. Now I knew. It wasn't about money. It was about power. And I was about to take it back. Now I knew exactly what I was walking into. I wasn't going to humiliate them. I wasn't going to send screenshots to the family group chat. I wasn't going to blow up their jobs. I was just going to show up. As the investor I was. That's it. Let reality do the work. I pulled out my business casual outfit. Navy blazer. Simple blouse. Professional. Not flashy. I printed a copy of my portfolio summary. Just for my own reference. Then I replied to the investor relations email one more time. Confirmed for Thursday. Looking forward to the briefing. Chris asked me that Wednesday night what I was doing Thursday. Just a work thing, I said. It wasn't a lie. It was the truth. He didn't ask more. Thursday morning I got dressed. Checked my folder. Portfolio summary. Business card. Investor badge confirmation email. I drove to Vanguard headquarters. Parked 2 blocks away. I didn't want them to see my car in the lot. Not yet. I walked up to the glass tower. The same one from Mark's Instagram photo. Took a breath. And walked inside. Thursday came. I parked 2 blocks away so they wouldn't see my car. The lobby was all marble and glass. I walked up to the sign-in desk. Name? I gave it. The woman scanned her list, smiled. Ah, yes. Investor briefing. 3rd floor. She handed me a badge. Printed right there. Investor, Series B preferred. I clipped it on. Took the elevator up. The doors opened. A hallway. Polished wood. Framed awards. I heard voices ahead. I turned the corner. And there he was, Mark, in the hallway, rehearsing his slides on a tablet. He looked up. Saw me. Froze. His mouth opened. Nothing came out. I nodded. Kept walking. Into the briefing room. 20 people, investors, executives, catering set up in the back. A woman approached. Welcome. So glad you could make it. The CEO stepped to the front. Tapped the microphone. Good morning, everyone. Before we begin, I want to thank our early believers, our Series B partners who saw the vision when we were just getting started. He looked down at his notes. Karen Chen, Devin Marshall. He kept reading. Then my name, out loud. In front of everyone. Mark walked in. Heard it. Went white. The CEO continued. Let's dive into Q3 performance. Mark, you're up first. Mark walked to the front. Hands shaking. He pulled up his slides. Started talking. His voice cracked twice. He kept glancing at me. I sat, calm, took notes. When he finished, the CEO opened the floor for questions. Another investor asked about user retention. Mark answered. Then the CEO turned. Looked right at me. You're close to this vertical. Any thoughts? The room went silent. I smiled. I think Mark's team has executed well on the roadmap. The metrics are solid. I'd love to see the segmentation data in the next review. Professional. Gracious. The CEO nodded. Agreed. Let's make that happen. Mark looked like he was going to be sick. After the presentation, we moved to lunch. Buffet style. I was filling my plate when I felt someone next to me. Diane. She stared at my badge. I didn't know you were involved here. I met her eyes. You never asked what I actually do. She opened her mouth, closed it, walked away. I finished lunch, shook hands with the CEO, thanked him for the update, and left. Mark and Diane stood in the lobby, speechless. I walked past them, out the door, into the sunlight, and I finally let myself smile. The next family dinner was the following Sunday. I showed up. So did Mark and Diane. No one said a word about Thursday. Mark wouldn't look at me. Diane was overly polite. Passing dishes, asking about the weather, small talk, safe talk. No apology. I didn't ask for one. Chris waited until we got home. What happened? I told him everything. The portfolio, the investment, the briefing, Mark's presentation. He sat down. put his head in his hands. I'm so sorry. For what? For not believing in you. For asking you to shrink. For letting them treat you like that. I sat next to him. I forgive you. He looked up. Just like that? Just like that. But things are different now. How? I'll always support family. But my work isn't a punchline. And I'm done pretending to be smaller than I am. He nodded. I get it. Good. Mark never brought up the $50,000 again. The investment club quietly disappeared. No more group texts. No more Instagram digs. 6 months later, my portfolio crossed $3 million. I launched a new venture. Got featured in an angel investor network spotlight. The article went up on their homepage. Chris shared it. His whole family saw it. Diane liked the post. Didn't comment. Mark didn't react at all. He still works at Vanguard. I didn't interfere. Didn't try to get him fired. That was never the point. The dynamic just reset. Family gatherings are different now. Quieter, more respectful. They ask about my work, carefully. I answer, briefly. I don't need their validation anymore. I never did. But I have their respect now. And that's because I stopped asking for it. I just built. In silence. And let my success make the noise. Here's what I learned. Respect isn't inherited. It's not given because someone loves you or shares your last name. It's earned. And sometimes the smartest move is to stop explaining yourself. Stop defending your path. Just keep building. The receipts will speak for themselves. So here's my question for you. Have you ever been underestimated by the people closest to you? What happened when you proved them wrong? Drop your story in the comments. I read every single one, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for more stories where the underdog keeps the receipts, and the ending is always worth the wait. Thanks for watching. Oh, and one last thing. This is a fictionalized dramatization for entertainment purposes, not financial or legal advice. Build your own path. Keep your own receipts. And never let anyone make you feel small. See you in the next one.